What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. Yeah, if you've been playing a game that had a loot box when you were a kid, you probably made the mistake of buying loot boxes back in the day. It is essentially gambling, and that's why they keep getting banned or removed every single time it's tried. Certainly saw that with EA and sports games, and even though they still exist in a lot of games, you can't really use real currency, or there's little things they got to go around. Otherwise, you end up getting stories like this, and that is where the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, of course, banning Genshin Impact developers from selling loot boxes to children under 16 without parental consent, and has fined the company $20 million. So, if that was in euros, it would be the cost of delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows. So, this is, of course, the FTC, and it is banning HoyoVerse, not banning them, but banning them from selling the loot boxes without parental consent. This is going to affect Genshin Impact, Honkai Railstars, Sinless Zone Zero, from selling loot boxes to children under the age of 16. And again, so there you go, 20 million. So in the press release, it says the maker of the video game Genshin Impact has agreed to pay 20 million and to block children under 16 from making in-game purchases without parental consent to settle the Federal Trade Commission allegations that the company violated a children's privacy law and deceived children and other users about the real costs of in-game transactions and odds of obtaining a rare prizes. And if you know those, the rarities and ratios of actually getting them is extremely low, and then they go on to be sold for a lot of money in game. Samuel Levine, the director of FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection, saying Genshin Impact deceived children, teens, and other players, adults, into spending hundreds of dollars on prizes they stood little chance of winning. It's like 1 in 1,000, 1 in 100. Companies that deploy these dark pattern tactics will be held accountable if they deceive players, particularly kids and teens, about the true costs of in-game transactions. I do like this. We do, if you're going to protect the children, this is definitely one of them. The agreement, of course, coming after a complaint was filed by the U.S. Department of Justice, charged that HoyoVerse actively marketed Genshin Impact to children, collected personal information from them in violation of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Rule. Also saying that they charged the HoyoVerse of deceiving players about the odds of winning particular sought-after 5-star loot box prizes and how much it would cost to open loot boxes. Like, you end up spending thousands when all is said and done. Finally, claiming that the promotional taxes for the loot boxes were unfair to children and teenagers, which are still children. Genshin Impact is a child-directed online service that collects personal information from children under 13 and therefore is required by COPPA to notify parents about the information that they collect from children and to obtain their consent for the collection of personal data. Collection that I'm sure most parents would say, no. So information was collected, blah, blah, blah. HoyoVerse shared with third-party analytics firms and advertisers, the same thing they do with our company. Sell your data to see, purchasing trends, et cetera, et cetera. So specifically, press release saying they must pay $20 million in fine, and they're prohibited from allowing children under 16 to purchase loot boxes in their video games without parents' affirmative express consent, prohibited from selling loot boxes using virtual currency without providing an option for consumers to purchase them directly with real money, prohibited from misrepresenting loot box odds, prices, and features, required to disclose loot box odds and exchange rates for multi-tiered virtual currency, required to delete any personal information, that's the one I would like, and required to comply with COPPA, including its notice to consent requirements. Either way, they're done. Stay away from kids and stupid teenagers, and even, quite frankly, some adults with these predatory loot boxes that are just tantamount to low-end gambling. Not even fun gambling, too. Either way, let me know what you think about this. To me, personally, I'm very happy. This is the one and only time I want the FTC to be doing stuff, is things like this. Other than that, you let me know what you think about this. It's good, bad? I think good. Either way, make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.